All right, we're back. This is the financing lesson, part 2. You putting these up on YouTube as well?
Yep.
All right. This is the Youth School for Business. Check us out at Youth School.
youthschool.biz.
Biz spelled the cool way.
B-I-Z.
B-I-Z. Check it out. I don't think there's anything else like this. We got a business competition for kids and their parents on that website. You probably will win. So I think we're going to guarantee you'll win at least $1,000 if you're the best business kid in the competition.
I mean, this is $1,000, dudes and dudettes out there.
It's pretty good, man. Not to mention, if you can start up a business that makes money, you'll also make money from the business. And as we said in a previous episode, you can't play business; you have to practice it. Similar to playing a piano, the only way to learn how to play a piano is to play the piano. So I would definitely check that out. Youthschool.biz. So we kind of sped through the end of the financing stuff, and I just want to.
Yeah, we did a bit of speeding.
I want to just go back to the candy bar example and just.
All right, candy bar.
Or the chocolate. All right, so I just want to make sure I get the math right. All right, so this is pretty cool. All right, so you had $200. You went to the bank. You borrowed $300.
You borrowed $300.
So now you got $500 total. You're gonna have to pay the bank back $350.
Right.
All right. So now you got $500 total. You go out. You sell $1,000 worth of chocolate. Mm-hmm. The cost of the chocolate was $500. So you got $500 worth of profit in there. So you have $500 worth of profit. Yes.
Done.
Okay, but you have $1,000 in cash, and so that $1,000 in cash is what you sold. So now you got to take from that. You got to take $350 back to the bank. Yes. Pay them. You got to pay them. So the $350 is the $300 that you borrowed plus $50 worth of interest.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So now 100.
Oh.
You had to pay. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's the 200.
200 you already had, right?
Right.
All right. So you got 1,000. You take 350 back to the bank. All right. Actually, this is a pretty cool concept I'm about to hit you with. All right. So you take 350 back to the bank. Mm-hmm. Now you got $650.
Right.
In there is your original $200.
Right.
Plus $450 worth of profit. Okay. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you took $200 and you made $450 worth of profit. It would not have happened unless you were able to somehow come up with that additional $300 that you did not have. You with me?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what's cool. All right. This is a conceptual thing.
All right.
Youngsters, you got to try to stick with me on this conceptual idea, on this concept. All right.
Concepts are about to go down.
This is called leverage. Leverage. This is a big boy term.
It's like this bar you're holding, and you're like.
It's like a lever.
Pulling it up.
Did you ever hear the expression, "Give me a lever big enough, and I'll turn over the whole world," or something like that? There was some Greek philosopher who said, "Give me a lever big enough, and I'll lift up the whole world." No. He said something like that. So this is what's cool about leverage. All right.
All right.
It's dangerous to use leverage. You got to be very careful. You have to be very, very sure that you're going to be able to pay the money back. You got to
know your stuff.
But you see how before we turned $200 investment into $450 worth of profit? Imagine you sell $1,000 to all those people, right? You sell $1,000 to all those people, and they come back and they want to buy another $1,000, or they want to buy another $1,000 of chocolate from you. Mm-hmm. Now you got a relationship with the bank, right? Now you can probably just go back to the bank and say, "I just want to borrow the whole $500." Like, you don't even need to use any of your own money. Can I just borrow? I paid you back last time. I've got all of these orders. Can I just borrow the full $500?
Oh.
And they go, "Yeah, you seem like a good risk. We still have your collateral and stuff. Yeah, go ahead." And you just do the whole thing on debt. So you just go to the store. All right, borrow $500. You go to the store. You buy $500 worth of chocolate.
Yeah.
Right. Your original money, the money that you have in the bank. You don't even need to use it. Or maybe you don't even need to use it.
It's just sitting there.
It's just sitting there, and you're just operating with borrowed money.
Wow.
All right, and you go, all right, good. You make your sales. You pay back the bank $500. Maybe it's $600 this time.
Right.
$500 in a loan plus some interest, and you make $400 profit. But you didn't have to give up any equity. You didn't have to touch any of your own money.
Wow.
You just are financing the whole thing. So that's one way to use leverage. Here's another way to use leverage. You take your you take your $650, right? And now you go out to the market and you just talk to everybody and you start getting orders. And you get $10,000 worth of orders, right? This number might be too big for kids. But you get $10,000 worth of orders. And then you go to the bank, you say, look, these are signed contracts. I have $10,000 worth of orders. I have $650. I need to borrow $4,300. I need to borrow like $4,400 from you. Can I borrow $4,400 from you? They go, yes.
Sure,
you can. You got the contract signed. Like you've already kind of built up your credit reputation with us. So you go to the store, you buy $5,000 worth of chocolate. You only got $600 of your own money in there, plus $4,400 from the bank, right?
Right.
You go to the chocolate, you go out, you make your sales, you collect, you get $10,000. You pay the bank back like $5,000, and you keep whatever. Something. I guess you have to pay the bank back $4,400.
Right.
So you get $10,000. No, $4,400 plus interest.
Plus the interest.
All right. So you get
$5,000.
So you go out $10,000. You pay $5,000 back to the bank. That leaves you with $5,000.
Okay.
Your part of that is only $650. So you've got over $4,000 in profit.
That's nice.
Only a little sliver of that. Is your own money.
Your own money.
And doing it like that is called leverage.
And it all started from the $200.
And so this is like the important point about leverage. All right, you take $600 and you turn it into $4,350. So it's like you multiply your investment 7 times. Because 6 times 7 is 42, right? So 600 times 7 is like 4,200. You with me?
Yeah.
So with $600, you multiply it 7 times.
Right.
Using debt financing, using leverage. This is kind of an advanced concept.
Big brain time.
But it's good. I mean, it's a good thing to know. Now, had you just gone out with $5,000 and bought all that chocolate yourself, right? You take your own $5,000. You go out, you buy the chocolate, you bring it back. You don't have to pay the bank back in this case. You just buy $5,000 worth of chocolate. You sell it to all the people, and you make $5,000. But your initial investment was $5,000, right? You said what?
Yeah.
You basically have doubled your money. But that's only a 2 times multiplier. So you start with 5,000. Now you have 10,000.
So your multiplier
so you've doubled
is way higher.
So you've doubled your money. In the other case, you started out with 600, but you made 4,200, right? So the leverage thing gives you much higher what's called return on investment. When you use leverage like that, when you bring in some debt like that,
and that actually all started from the $50 that he initially bought.
And so financing is, if you want to grow your business, financing starts to become quite important. And you have to, you have to ask your question, how are we going to finance this? Am I going to put in my own money? Am I going to use debt financing? Am I going to take in partners? No matter what, debt financing is what allows you for the absolute highest return on your investment, bringing in leverage.
Wow.
And that's why, you have a lever big enough. So if you got enough leverage, if you got enough financing, you can take a relatively small investment and multiply it a whole bunch of times.
You can turn the whole world over.
But I would just knock it off its axis, dude. But the one thing I would just caution, because I've seen it quite a bit. I've seen companies using debt to try to grow their business. Do not do it unless you have guarantees that the people on the other side are actually going to buy from you. Like, you just want to make sure.
Be sure.
I would just say that for sure. Make sure you actually have a home. For all of your inventory before you start bringing debt into play.
Otherwise, you're in serious trouble.
Yeah, don't go to your parents. So your kids, right? You're not gonna be able to go to the bank, but you might be able to go borrow some money from your parents. But I wouldn't even be messing around with borrowing money, or from your friends. You can borrow some money from your friends too. I wouldn't mess around with any of that stuff. No debt whatsoever, unless you feel quite certain that you have buyers and you have them locked down and you have them guaranteed and promising that they're going to buy your products from you. All right, have a good one. Nobody else is teaching kids about this. This is like good stuff.
Good stuff.
This is going to put you ahead if you can get your head around it. All right, zip it up and zip it out.